Now it is my privilege to introduce to you our keynote speaker tonight. He graduated from Middlesboro High School and Transylvania University before earning a law degree from Duke in 2003. But it was his passion for UK sports that led this super fan on a new and exciting journey. He created the Kentucky Sports Radio website in 2005. 5 years later, he launched what is today the best radio call-in show in the Big Blue Nation. Many of you, like me, follow him on Twitter and listen to his daily call-in show and KSR pre- and post-game shows during football and basketball season. He is an Eastern Kentucky success story. Please welcome Kentucky Sports Radio's Matt Jones.
Thank you very much, Neil, and I appreciate all of you having me. It's an honor for me to be here, in large part because of the good work that is done by this group every year. It's kind of amazing to think that this started 28 years ago and all that has happened since then, and how many people, how many kids have been in the position that you all are right now, and I'm very honored you take and let me speak. I want to take a second to talk. I'm going to talk to the 103 of you that won. No offense to everybody else, but you all are the ones that to me matter, and so I want to speak to you tonight. First of all, I want to congratulate you on what you've accomplished. You guys are the pride of Eastern Kentucky, and as somebody who cares about Eastern Kentucky alive, it makes me happy just to see you all here. It makes me happy to hear about kids who grew up in the mountains, which I think is the greatest place in the United States, and to see those people succeed. You've overcome, some of you, a lot to get here. Some of you maybe not as much, but all of you have overcome something. And you should really be proud of the fact that in this region that you grew up, you're being honored. So before I sort of tell you some things I hope you do, I also want to say I am proud of you. I want to give you just a little bit of a biography of me. I grew up in Middlesboro. First of all, how many of you, I know I got somebody here from Bell County, Pine Bluff, Middlesboro. Are we here? I see you over there. There you go. God's country. My mom was an attorney there, my dad a school teacher, and I grew to love the area, and I love basketball. When I was growing up, Clay County was the basketball team. Richie Farmer, brother Russ, that whole crew. Then when I played, Arlen was really good, Corbin, Clay County again. They seem to always beat us. But I love this area and I love basketball. And so the combination of the basketball classic and this, something I used to watch on TV on WYMT, and now to get to be able to be here, I'm very excited. But I do want to tell you that before you go on from this, I've got 3 things that I hope you'll consider and you'll think about before you move to the sort of the next part of your life. These are, I'm not an expert in how to be successful or an expert in what you should do, but I am very happy with my life, and I think there are a couple things I think would benefit you to think about as you decide what you're going to do with yours. And number 1, I would say, more than anything else, as you do college and the rest of your life, work hard towards trying to figure out what your passion is. So I went to law school right out of college, went to Duke. Don't hate me for that, but I did go to Duke. And I enjoyed practicing law. I liked it, but it wasn't really my passion. My passion was UK sports. How many UK fans do we have? We're pretty good this year, I think, if you all. My passion was UK sports. I grew up watching all of the teams, the first teams I can remember, Kenny Walker, Sam Bowie, all the way through the unforgettables, Jamal Mashburn, when Pitino was here, when Pitino became a traitor and left, everything in between. I loved UK sports. When my friends and I got together, that's all we talked about. And so I kept trying to figure out this thing that's my passion. How can I also make it part of my life? And so in 2005, I started a website that I literally thought not one person would ever read. It would be just my friends and I, and we would start something we had heard about called a blog, and we would write about UK because we all liked it. And we did, and over time, it started to gain a little traction. I remember the first day I got on the website, and we wrote, and I checked that night, and 13 people read the website that day. And I thought, there are 13 bored people out there. But over time, 13 grew. And to give you an example, last night, 300,000 people came to the website. Now, why? I'm not the best writer. I don't know all that much about sports, as anybody who watched me play when I was in high school could tell you. But it was my passion. And I expressed that passion through what I did. And I think people liked it because they saw that passion. Now for you all, that's probably not UK sports. It may be anything. It might be medicine, might be being a doctor, might be working on cars. It doesn't really matter. But if you can find a way to incorporate whatever it is your passion into your life, I guarantee you'll be happy. And it doesn't necessarily even completely have to be your profession. Maybe your passion is something outside of your profession that you can still do. But I would suggest to you, try to find what that is and then work hard. Now I use the work hard on purpose, because let's be honest, high school, for a lot of people, isn't that hard. But it's about to get hard. You're going to have to work a lot harder than you did up to this point. So you need to make sure that you go in with an attitude when you go to college, I'm going to work hard. Because there are going to be a whole lot of people around you that aren't, and will try to bring you down. There are also going to be a lot of people who are there who will be working as hard as they possibly can. And they're going to try to be competitive and beat you. But you need to, for yourself, give 100% maximum effort. I always say this, and I really believe this. There's no shame in losing. There's no shame in failing. I've failed at many jobs. But there is shame in not trying your hardest. And that's whatever you decide to do from now on. Make sure you give it your all. So at the end of it, you can say, look, I did all I can. I would also suggest to you to be open to new things. I don't care where you go to school. If you go to Harvard or Yale, if you go to UK, Moorhead, Eastern, Cumberland, Pikeville, Alice Lloyd, or a community college, wherever you go, you're going to all of a sudden see a lot beyond what you've seen so far. Be open to trying new things. Be open to learning new things. You might find something that you didn't even know was out there that you actually like. When I went to school, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I took classes in random subjects, and I really enjoyed them. So I suggest to you, wherever you go, you're getting 4 years, hopefully, of learning. Take advantage of it, and find out what it is that you really like and strive to achieve. Second thing, I want you all to do me a favor. I want you to be confident, and I want you to be proud of being from Eastern Kentucky. A lot of people out there give a hard time to Eastern Kentucky. I've read surveys where people say this is the hardest place to live in America. And don't get me wrong, it can be very difficult. The economic situation here is often difficult. But the best people I know came from Eastern Kentucky. The most kind-hearted people, and also some of the smartest people. I'm going to tell you, I went to school in Lexington, but then I also went to Duke. And I have a lot of positive things to say about Duke. But there were some issues when I was there because people thought, that guy talks funny. That guy's from a place that we like to make fun of. I'm telling you, you're just as good as everybody you will meet. You have just as much ability to succeed as everybody you will meet. So walk in, be confident, and be proud of who you are and where you're from. If you walk into a situation and you're not confident, and you don't think you're as good as everyone else there, you've already lost. You have no chance of being successful. I don't want you to be cocky. You can be humble. But be humble, confident, and proud. Because this place that raised you is, in my opinion, the best place you could have been from. There are a lot of people out there that are relying on you. Some of them are family members that are probably here with you, who many of them have sacrificed to help you get here. Remember that. Remember, it's not just about you. Best advice I got in high school. One time, I got a scholarship to Transylvania, and I came back to my high school class. I was very happy, very confident. And a teacher of mine, Miss Dillman, called me over and she said, "Congratulations on your scholarship to Transylvania." And I said, yeah, wow, I'm so happy I accomplished that. And she sort of said with a smile, "Yes, you accomplished it. But remember that others helped you get there, and it's not just about you." And at the time, I'm not sure if I completely heard that, but she was exactly right. So when you go to this next step, it's not just about you. When you're trying to figure out whether or not you're going to study for that final or go out with your friends, remember, it's not just about you. There's a lot of people here relying on you to make sure to make them proud too. And finally, this is the most important thing. If you don't listen to anything else I say, I hope you'll do this. I want all of you to do me a favor, all 103. I want you to think about a person in your school or in your life that you can help bring along. Maybe it's somebody in your class, maybe it's somebody a year younger than you. But think about it. There's somebody in your high school right now who you know, who for whatever reason hasn't gotten the opportunity that you've gotten. Maybe they don't try as hard as they should in school. Maybe life's just dealt them a bad hand. But there's somebody in your school that's like that. And I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to make it your mission in your last semester of high school to try to make that person's life better. To try to help that person get on a track to where you are right now. I know for every one of you, you have a person like that. Think about it. Because I can guarantee you this. If you help someone, and then that person succeeds, it's going to feel even better than when you did. To the parents out there, I will talk to you for just a second. Doesn't it feel better when your kids succeed over even you? You're supposed to say yes. You can be that same way in a high school. And then you can look back when they get a college scholarship or move on and have a happy life and say, you know what? It wasn't just about me. I helped them as well. So, I'm glad to be here. I hope to follow you all. I have a program with your names. And I want to, in 4 or 5 years, when you finish college or do whatever it is you're going to do, I want to look back at your names and say, I remember that person. I remember when they sat there before they went to college. And I'm glad to see that the efforts of people like this, the donors, the people who go to the games, everybody was contributing to make it worthwhile. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.